Okay, sit yourself onto your left and then come into a good cross-legged position, and just find your levelness. So just roll over and move the buttock flesh out to the side. Just feel that you are level at the seat bones. And then hold onto your knees. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that isn't moving. Focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just drawing your attention into the breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying them from the top to the bottom. And then release your knees. Bring your hands into Namaste. Lengthen your armpits into your elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Just following the movement of the breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, filling them evenly, and emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom, emptying them evenly. Gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest to meet your chin. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. connect the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb as a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Elevate the heart area consciously to the ceiling. So although the heart is slightly to one side, it just means the heart area, just means the center of the chest. Elevate the heart area to the ceiling. Hold onto your knees, elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, feeling the body's response. Perhaps there's some resistance, perhaps there's not. Stay on the front edge of the seat bones, dig the back hand into the floor to facilitate that. And as you turn to the right, observe the seat bones, feel the pose from the seat bones, observe that the seat bones remain level. If they don't, if you kind of just allow the right seat bone to become heavier than the left, then just adjust the torso between the two seat bones, between the two hips. Use the out breath to intensify the turn. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling, drawing the shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Again, just observing the sensation of turn. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just listening to the breath. And then gently come back to the center. Come off your lift and then sit yourself on the heels. So sit yourself on your heels, just enjoy that sensation initially of just sitting back on your heels. Feel the stretch of the shins, stretch of the fronts of the feet, and then lift up into the chest. Just wriggle into your heels. Draw the outer buttock into the inner heel. So you make really good contact between the seat bones and the heels. Elevate the heart area upwards. So without activating the legs, that feels a little kind of redundant. It doesn't quite connect. It feels unconnected. So consciously push your shins into the floor. So you kind of roll the shins onto the center blade of the shin. Press the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate. And then elevate the heart area upwards. Just feel how more connected that feels. Just feel from the feet to the shins, to the thighs, to the hips. There's levelness of action from the inside right from the start. come forwards, hinging at the hips. Keep the head lifted. Keep the head lifted. And then draw your forehead down to the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Press the area between the eyebrows into the floor. Stand deeply into the hands. Press the palms into the floor fully. And by fully, I mean evenly. Press the index finger knuckle consciously into the floor and feel how the shoulders respond. Come up onto your knees. Have your hands as wide apart as the mat. Have your feet as wide apart as the mat. And then come up into dog down. Sometimes it's useful to come into dog down with your knees bent, and then you can really pick up the seat bones, pick up the tailbone, so that you draw your shoulder blades in and then straighten the legs. Feel the conscious connection to the pose. Observe your balance of action. Perhaps at first it doesn't feel like your arms or your legs are working in union with each other. So spend a little bit of time feeling the pose on the inside and then working for evenness of action. So it's really normal to come into the pose and then it feel all over the place. So you just spend a little time in the pose, just observing it. It doesn't really matter how many times in your life you've done dog down. You always come into it first thing in the morning or first thing in your practice, and it will feel uneven. So recognize that and activate accordingly. Step your feet forward, come up into standing position. And then have the blocks for underneath your hands. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Turn the toes in. Bring the heels as wide apart as your mat. Turning the toes in, lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards. Wing the elbows towards each other. Hinge at the hips. Keep the head lifted. Come forwards. Tighten the legs. Lift the seat bones. Lift the heels. If you've got a problem with your back, then you can reach down and find the blocks. If not, you can keep coming forwards, but keep coming forwards with the straight back. Lengthening the front chest. Hinging entirely at the hips. And then release your arms, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around the elbows and then hang down.
Keep the legs determinedly active. Keep working through that sequence of observation and activation. Observation and activation. Release your hands down to the floor if you're in uttanasana, full uttanasana, and then just come into half uttanasana. Projecting the chin and the chest forward. Use the blocks underneath your hands if you need them. If you haven't got blocks there, then you can always bring your hands onto your shins and continue to press the chin and the chest forwards. Just breathing, getting those legs super straight by tightening the kneecaps, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into uttanasana. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just observe how your body feels now. How perhaps there is energy where there wasn't. Maybe you don't feel fully energized quite yet, but it will feel like there are parts of the body that are energized that weren't before. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide for trikonasana. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Just keep facing the front as you come down, keeping both legs working evenly. And then reach up. Look up if you can. Get those legs to really activate. Stamp the big toe of the left foot really firmly into the floor. Turn the legs from the inside out. So the fronts of the thighs, rotate the fronts of the thighs from the big toe to the little toe side. That back leg, so that the little toe side of the foot maintains contact for the right foot, for the front foot, so that the front leg buttock bone can squeeze forwards in line with the right heel. Just look down, observe that your head is directly over your foot. If it's not, then lift the chest, squeeze the front leg buttock bone forward, and then look back up. Observe how this pose clears the sinuses, or at least on the right side anyway. Reach up with the top hand, come back to the center, swap your feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out, wide enough. Just ensure that you're wide enough. Again, turn the legs outwards. It's the key to keeping the hips level in this pose. Reach over and look up. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling the pose from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine, from the heart area into the arms, from the heart area up into the neck, into the head. Back to the center,
bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump, feet back together. Just come back to Tadasana. Just observe how the breath is different after trikonasana. This time of year I quite often wake up and one of my kind of nasal passages is blocked a little, and after trikonasana it always feels a bit clearer. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. Keep the back leg straight, really straight at the kneecap, and then bend the front knee. Find the right angle. Keep bending that knee until you can put your dinner plate on this thigh and your peas and your sausages should stay on the plate. Keep that back leg straight, tighten the kneecap. And then straighten the legs. Release the hands for a second, swap the feet around. Turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out. So heels being in the right place is really important. Heel in line with the instep, really important. Being wide enough is really important. If you're not wide enough, then this happens. Your knee overshoots the shin. It feels horrible in the knee and it's really hard to sustain it. So don't be afraid to go wide with this pose. Go wider than you would for trikonasana. Turn these legs outwards, right from the root of the thigh into the hip. It's not really the root, is it? That's the top of the thigh. So the root would be the bottom, wouldn't it? So turn the top of the thigh in the hip socket. Lift up, keep this back leg firm at the kneecap, and then keep extending the spine up to the ceiling as you bend that back leg. Find a right angle. Look over the middle finger of the right hand, of the left hand, sorry. Breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Virabhadrasana II. The more you tighten that kneecap, the more length you get in that back knee and that back leg, the more you can even out the balance between the two legs. Straighten the leg, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just observe the feeling of the body. So after Tadasana, after Virabhadrasana II, your body will feel full of energy. So just acknowledge that feeling. Listen to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. And enjoy the sensation of physical lightness, of clear breathing. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Okay, have a block for your hand on the right side, or have one on the left side of your mat. And just make sure it's not going to be somewhere where you're going to jump on top of it. It's just at the back end of your mat. Lift up into the chest. Bring your arms out nice and wide into the chest, and then again step as wide as you did for last time for parsvakonasana.
Turn the left toes in slightly and the right leg and foot all the way out. Again, just being really precise about where that foot is situated in relation to the back foot. So the heel needs to be in line with the instep. If you've got stiff hips, bring that foot forwards, beyond, like in line with the toes or beyond it. This back leg's really important in this pose, as it was in Virabhadrasana II. Tighten the kneecap, really press the front of the knee through to the back of the knee. Turn the leg out so that you feel that the outside edge of the foot comes down onto the floor. That's also really important in parsvakonasana. Turn this leg all the way out so that when you bend the knee, it bends over the foot, not kind of rolling into the middle of the room. Lift up into the chest, have your hands on your hips, and then find your right angle. Keep this leg straight. Keep turning the leg, keep turning the leg. And then reach down, find the outside edge of the foot. Now this is the kind of classical way of doing it, and you can have your hand with the block if you want, or you can reach down to the floor. Sometimes we lose this turn, and parsvakonasana, parsva is a turn. So we're going to cheat a bit and bring the hand onto the big toe side of the foot, and then you can really push the arm into the leg, and then you get a really deep turn. So you can either keep your hand there or just feel that turn and maintain it. Bring the hand back to the usual place and then reach up and over, look underneath the armpit. Ideally there should be a straight line between this straight leg and the straight arm. I don't quite get it because of the ceiling height here. I'll have to just slightly adjust it. Look underneath the armpit, turn the chest. Keep bending that front knee. Keep the right angle with that front knee. Again, a really good sinus clearer. Straighten that front leg, come back to the centre, and then bring the feet to face the front. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Just make sure that the heel is in the right place. Turn the legs. Keep the back leg straight. Bend that front knee, that left knee. And then just bring the right hand onto the hip. Reach down, find the outside edge of the foot, or use the block. Using the block just gives you more space. Just bring your hand onto the inside of the knee and then push against it to really turn the chest, to get that turn. So either stay there or bring the hand onto the heels, outer heel side, and then reach up and over. Keep that knee bent into a right angle. Keeping the back leg straight. Deep inhalations and exhalations. And then straighten the front leg, come back to the centre. And then step or jump, feet back together, and then come back into Tadasana. So just spend a little time observing your breath, observing how the physical body has changed, observing your energy. Listen to the breath. Bring the feet hip width apart. You can come into half uttanasana with your hands on a table or the back of a chair or windowsill if you've got a bad back, or onto the wall. Otherwise, raise your arms, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows. Have your feet hip width apart, turning your toes in, turning the legs in, hinge at the hips, and then hang down. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Just listening to the breath. more firmly and evenly you activate the legs, the more firmly and evenly you can lengthen the spine to the floor. Just observe how far or close the elbows are to the floor. Just observing how that feels in relation to how it feels normally. Just using this pose to get the breath back. Okay, and then just release your hands down to the floor, project the chin and the chest forwards. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up, and then come up into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana for a moment or two. Just observing the inhalation and the exhalation. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor. So sit yourself on a lift and stretch your legs out in front. So just have your legs, so sit yourself on a lift. So you can just sit on a folded blanket. Quite often we'll just sit directly on the floor, but I want you to sit on just a little lift today, just to see how that feels, how it feels different to how it normally feels. So stretch your legs out in front, roll over, move the buttock flesh out to the side. So in seated poses, like I say, quite often we just sit directly on the floor. So you've only given yourself like a little, if you're sitting on a folded blanket, if you need more to sit on, then sit a bit higher. But just that little folded blanket gives you a bit of extra height at the seat bones. So lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, have your hands at the sides of the hips. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And then get hold of the back of the left knee. Try not to disturb the seat bones as you bring this knee back and you bring the foot into the thigh, a bit like the tree pose, a bit like Virabhadrasana. Now at this stage, especially because we're sitting on a lift, this leg might be kind of floating up in the air, and you shouldn't let that just hang in the ether in this pose, because that can hurt your knee. So if your knee doesn't reach the floor, if the outer shin doesn't reach the floor, then just get a block and just support the head of the knee with the block however you need it. So just feel, have you disturbed your hips? And if you have, then just adjust them. So maybe you have to bring this bent knee, hip forwards a little, and then get the belt and then throw the belt around the foot. So Ian, not that it really matters too much, but you brought the other knee out to the side, so you brought the right knee out to the side. I might have said right knee, so apologies if that's the case. But it's this, keep the right leg straight and then bend the left knee. Okay, so push your foot firmly into the belt and then rotate the chest. Rotate the chest so that you're directly facing this leg. Because, you know, often your chest will want to go in between the two knees. Rotate the abdomen around so that your chin is in line with the foot. So that your chest is in line with the foot. Straighten that right leg really deeply, tighten the kneecap, and then lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. Now, if you've got a bad back, you might just want to stay here, and that is fine. You just stay here, activating that leg,
rolling onto the front seat bones, feeling like you're evenly on both seat bones. And that probably doesn't feel even at the moment. You probably feel very right seat bone centered. So adjust the position of the torso so that both feel level. If there's no problem with your back, then you can come forwards, but come forwards with the heart area, keeping the head lifted at all times, like the head is magnetically attracted to the ceiling. Keep the head lifted, keep the heart area lifted. If you can reach around the foot, then do janu sirsasana. Just feel the balance of the seat bones, maintain that balance. So you have to turn this straight leg inwards like you're doing tadasana. That helps to balance the seat bones. If you can reach around the foot, then do. Keeping the head lifted, keeping the heart lifted. And then just a little bit at a time, come down. When the chest is in contact with the leg, then if you can bring your head down, but don't bring the head down if you're all the way up here, because that will just make you round in your shoulders. So keep coming forwards just a little bit at a time, just a really nice forward bend. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then lift your head. Gently come back to the centre. And straighten your leg. Straighten your leg out. Just roll over, move the buttock flesh out to the side. Just feel that you are sitting evenly on the seat bone. Just observe the quietness of coming out of a forward bend. Keep the left leg straight this time, and bring the right leg back. Again, just feeling that you don't what word am I looking for? Don't disturb the seat bones. Keep the seat bones level. Again, if the head of the knee needs some support, then give it. Don't let that knee kind of float up in the air. Get the belt, and then push the foot firmly into the belt. Until you push that foot into the belt, it's difficult to lift the chest. Turn the front of the leg inwards like you're doing tadasana with that leg. That helps you to maintain the levelness of these seat bones. Lift up into the chest. And then with an out breath, if there's no problem with your back, just come forwards a little bit at a time. Keeping the chest reaching over that front leg, keeping the hips feeling like they're level. You can reach around the foot, then go for the foot, but keep the abdomen rotating from the right to the left. So janu sirsasana is one of those poses that's really comforting to come into. Turn the front leg inwards, but you might find that one side is different to the other. That's totally normal. Just acknowledge that. That's just part of the acknowledgement of the action. If you can bring your head down, then do. Otherwise, keep it lifted. But don't bring the head down too soon.
So just enjoy the stage of the pose that you are at. Feel that the seat bones maintain their balance. And you can go either way when you're down, so just observe how those seat bones are feeling. So yoga is often about feeling and seeing as an almost inseparable action. So we see the parts of the body that the eyes can't see through the feeling of the pose. Okay, lift your head and then come back to the center. Just bring both feet back into the pose and then lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards. Push deeply into the belt. Stay on the lift, rolling onto the front edge of the seat bone. Keep the kneecaps tight and press in the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees. Okay, hold and release the belt and then stay on the lift and then come into swastikasana, just normal swastikasana, just feeling the seat bones are level. Hold onto your knees. If sitting on the blanket isn't enough, and if your knees are really high like this, then that's always going to be difficult to lift the chest. So just be on your blanket and have your hands on your knees. Try and keep your knees low. Sit higher if you need to. Lift up into the chest. Elevate heart area up to the ceiling. Drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. And your ribs and your shoulders. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then gently come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, and then turn to the left side. And then gently come back to the center. Just hold onto your knees. Just listen to the breath. So you can stay on the lift, just get a couple of blocks for either side of you, lift up into the chest, and then bend your elbow. You might need to, because we're on the lift, you might need to bring your blocks onto a slightly higher level. Bring the elbow onto the lift. Turn the chest, have your left hand on your hip, turn the chest, draw the abdomen across from the right to the left, and then reach up and over. Push that right elbow into the block really firmly so that you can lengthen the left seat bone away, so that you can lengthen into that left seat bone, so that you can bring levelness to the seat bones. Press that left seat bone down and feel that tremendous stretch across the left side of the torso. And then come back to the center, so sukhasana. It was really good to just lengthen out the side ribs, very parsvakonasana like. Have the block, reach underneath the left knee, bring the left elbow onto that left block, bring the right hand onto the hip and turn the chest. Consciously push that left elbow into the floor and then lengthen across into that right seat bone so that the seat bones remain level. You have to really press down with that right seat bone. Reach up and over, looking underneath the armpit. Maintaining that levelness of the seat bones. Again, another pose that helps to clear out the sinuses. It's nothing to do with your armpit, it's the position of the head. So in parsvakonasana, it's the same. In trikonasana, it's the same. And this is sukhasana. So it just helps to clear out the sinuses. And then come back to the center. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then just come off your lift. And then have the folded blanket just to rest your head on. Just come down into a good straight line. Just for the first minute, perhaps we'll do viparita karanhi, so hold on to the edges of the mat and then reach the legs up to the ceiling. Just feel that the sacrum spine makes good contact with the floor. Gently bend your knees, bring your feet back down onto the floor. Just come up into your elbows for a moment. Just make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the centre of the mat. And then guide yourself down. Make sure the back of your head and the neck is supported by the blanket. And then allow the body to relax into the floor.
Consciously unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs, so that you allow the physical body to become heavy on the ground. Out of that heaviness comes a distinct sensation of energetic lightness that radiates from bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Into the flesh and the skin. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into your toes, down into the fingertips, and up all the way to the top of the head. Just distributing that physical lightness with the breath. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness, the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then wriggle your toes, wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And then bend your knees, bring your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Final cross legs. With your hands in the masti, just finding your balance of the seat bones. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. A good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining me. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy, giving yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.